breaking news from the world of sports. A judge has thrown out New England Patriots quarterback Tom Brady's 4-game suspension stemming from the Deflategate scandal. This after Brady and the NFL had failed for weeks to settle the case. WSJ sports reporter Matthew Oshinsky joins us now to discuss. Matthew, thanks for being here.
Of course.
So are you surprised the judge threw out all 4 games of the suspension?
I think it was something of a surprise that this decision was made one way or the other. The judge had been really pushing both sides to settle this argument, and they had consistently been unable to do that. And I think at some point the judge just said, you know, if you guys aren't going to decide this, I'm going to decide this.
Right.
So, you know, I think it was, the decision itself wasn't that surprising, but the fact that he just sort of dropped the hammer was unexpected.
What did the judge rule on exactly? Because he didn't rule on whether or not Brady actually deflated the footballs, right?
No, I think it's sort of almost the reverse. What he really decided was that the NFL had not provided sufficient evidence that Brady had deflated the footballs. And, you know, Roger Goodell, the commissioner of the NFL, had been adamant in saying that Brady was an active participant in this scheme during the AFC championship game last season. And the judge ruled that there was really no evidence to support that claim.
Right. And so did the judge's ruling sort of undermine Goodell's authority? Where does his authority end?
Well, you know, clearly his authority ends in federal court.
Yes.
You know, Roger Goodell is a very powerful guy within the bubble of the NFL. He is the chief disciplinarian for the league. And within that bubble, what he says more or less goes. But as soon as sports law sort of rises to actual law, his authority quickly runs out. And
it seems that the NFL has not had a great track record with its disciplinary actions.
It does have a history of losing these sorts of disciplinary decisions, yeah. If you remember the Ray Rice case from a year ago, which was a much more serious offense involving domestic violence, the league suspended Rice. After initially suspending him for a very small amount, they jumped all the way to suspending him for the entire season. That suspension was thrown out. Also, a couple of years ago, fans will remember the New Orleans Saints got into some trouble for allegedly offering rewards for injuring opponents. Several players were suspended for many games. Those suspensions were vacated as well at the higher level.
Now, looking at NFL versus Brady, do you think this is it? Are they going to appeal this? Are they going to let it go? What do you think?
They do have the ability to appeal to the Second Circuit. You know, I'd be surprised if they did. It's sort of, it would be foolish at this point. They clearly didn't have the legal standing. They also went about the suspension, I think, in a dubious way legally in terms of explaining to Brady exactly what punishment he faced and why he faced it. And, you know, meanwhile, the season is set to begin next week.
And we're going to see Brady on the gridiron where?
He's facing Pittsburgh. The Patriots, I think, in the last couple of hours have been made much larger favorites in that game. There's money to be made, and football to be played, and I think everyone will just...
And life goes on.
Go on with life.
Matthew Oshinsky, thank you so much for that.